Network Entertainment.
Pinoys have a non-confrontational nature and they tend to be passive-aggressive. Like, they'll make parinig
Oo.
or ikukwento sa iba.
Or they put it on social media with
Yes!
under
Oh my God.
somebody else's name or
Some people get skampihan na, di ba? Oh my God. What can you say about that?
Yun na nga. So, it's not helpful. Kasi nga, lalo na if it's in social media, you just post it because it's not even your name, right?
Right.
So, you're not being accountable to what you are saying. So, that's one of the things that's important in conflict resolution is you have to speak for yourself.
Right.
Hindi pwede kasi yung kapitbahay ko, ganito, ganito. You have to be kasi parang you are actively part of the conflict resolution process. So, you have to be accountable. You have to be responsible. Actually, there was one, Facebook Live, yung mediation session.
Oh my God! Hi, this is Mirza Season. Welcome to You Can Do This, a podcast that'll help you achieve your dreams and goals one episode at a time. What are you waiting for? Let's go! So why can't we all just get along? Whether it's a disagreement with a colleague, a spat with a friend, or a clash with a loved one, conflicts are an inevitable part of life. In this episode, we're delving into the art of conflict resolution, a skill that's vital not just in the workplace, but also in our personal relationships. Giving us practical strategies and tips today and to help you navigate and transform conflicts into opportunities for growth and stronger connections is a seasoned specialist in conflict resolution. As the executive director of the Conflict Resolution or Core Group Foundation, she has been at the forefront of mediation and dialogue in the Philippines. With almost 2 decades of experience in alternative dispute resolution, she's a certified mediator and executive coach with a deep passion for bridging differences and fostering harmonious human interactions. Whether addressing personal challenges or managing large-scale regional disputes, her seasoned and proven approach skillfully integrates her extensive mediation background with executive coaching, creating a holistic strategy for cultivating enduring relationships and effective conflict management. Please welcome Coach Mia Corpus.
Thank you. Thank you for the
Hi.
invitation. Great to be here.
Thank you for being here. And I'm happy na hindi na nag-conflict
Oo.
yung schedule.
Nag-conflict. That's a good one. Okay.
So, how are you today?
I'm good. No conflicts today, no cases today, so it's an easy day.
Okay. May conflict lang sa Israel. Parang
Ay,
kailangan kaya nila doon.
no. Now we've had a lot of discussions recently about
I'm
Israel. Of course,
sure.
everything it's been happening for so long already, and people have tried to move forward
Right.
with a peace agreement, but for us, conflict in the conflict resolution field, as long as you keep trying,
Yeah.
there's hope.
Wow. Right. I'm sure when you read the news, diba, you
Oo,
can't help but
yeah,
feel,
Yeah.
wow. So,
Yeah.
tell us about how you became,
On a lighter note.
on a lighter note, tell us the story of how you
Okay.
became a certified mediator, may ganun pala,
Oo.
and conflict resolution expert.
Okay,
Ano ang roots?
Roots, I got bored. No, cause when I got married, of course I was planning really just to be a housewife, take care of the kids, and then maybe a year into it, I kind of realized I wanted to do something worthwhile,
Right.
and of course continue to contribute. So because I was working like full time before that, so I met with my mentor, and she was at that time looking to expand her team.
Okay.
So parang good time, right? So I started volunteering
Ah.
So doing mediation work, of course, she did train me, and then doing work for like spreading mediation in different sectors.
Wow. What does it take to be a mediator? Like in your family ba, pag may nag-aaway, ikaw ba yung referee?
Uh, well, it takes it takes really yung willingness no of the person to just make sure that everyone's talking, yeah, parang ganun. So, yeah, but of course, there's a lot of training behind it.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So I've been doing a lot of training in the last 19
That's
years. So
amazing.
tuloy-tuloy, it's really consistent because once you mean there's so much to learn in
Yeah.
this field.
Wow. And what I love about like when reading all your accomplishments is that you train government
Yeah.
officials.
Yeah.
And that gives me hope.
Yeah, we've been doing well ever since we created the NGO really for that purpose, to build mediation units in all government agencies. So parang we started with a law, and that law may mga executive orders, and then after that we really want all government agencies because it's part of public service.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right, right. What's the best and the worst part of your job?
Best part is there's so much you can learn. Parang every case you handle, every
Right.
project that you handle, you learn so much because we're talking about human nature, and human nature is not like one di ba, one thing lang. We were so multifaceted, and then you combine people pa together. So there's a lot of dynamics there. So you learn a lot. That's the good part. The bad part of it is of course it gets tiring because we've been doing this advocacy work for almost 20 years, and you know a lot of people are still into, oh, I'll go to court, oh, talk to my lawyer, that adversarial
right.
kind of of dispute resolution. So talking talking things out, and getting people to sit down and look at what the issues are, it takes a while for people to get into that.
Right. Sorry to be like kind of biased, but do women make better mediators?
They do.
Okay.
Ganun eh.
Okay,
They
tama
do.
ka dun.
They do. Magalit yung men. No, but through experience, it's really because we're more ganun, nagalit eh. No, but again, there's that compassion there,
Right,
the empathy, and it's natural for us to bring
right,
people together.
right. Kaya nga nung pandemic, diba, the women-led nations. And sa Barbie.
Oo.
Sa Barbie the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're, diba, I mean, there's research. I mean, admittedly, there's
Right.
research already about women being really excellent managers. So that's part of it. Our compassion and ability to really connect with people.
Yan, science yan. How has your own life changed as a result of applying your conflict resolution skills? I can imagine your house to be conflict free.
No, we're not conflict free.
But I'm sure you have the tools.
Definitely not conflict free. But I feel like I've been a better mom because of that. Because I think I have children who are level-headed,
Okay.
and even-tempered.
Okay.
But it's not really. Now there's no conflict, but we know how to handle it, and we know how to
Right.
take care of it, and we know not to let it like linger.
Right.
Yeah.
And how have you trained your children at a young age
Oo.
to have this kind of awareness or mindset? I'm so curious.
I don't know how, pero it's more of really the way you talk to them.
Right.
Na like with my son, when they were young, no, talk to them, look them in the eye, and then really express to them, oh, this is what I need.
Oh, okay.
Kasi like, oh, don't touch the cup, di ba?
Right, right.
But you have to explain why, di ba?
Right,
Oh, kasi
right, right.
I'm really I'm worried about your safety because it might fall,
Right,
and it
right,
might
right.
break, and you might hurt yourself. You have to explain
Right.
the needs behind it and your interests behind it.
How about sa romantic relationships?
Oh, my husband is there, you ask
I
him.
know. The fact that he's here with you means it's a good sign.
Yeah. No, ganun din.
Ganun
There are, of course, emotional moments, yan, nagagalit, nagtatampo. But you learn to talk it
Right.
out. Yeah.
Right. So walang conflict free.
Walang
And as
conflict
you
free.
mentioned, human nature. Maybe tell me
Oo.
more about
Mm.
what you have found out about human nature vis-a-vis
Yeah.
conflict.
Okay, because conflict is really part of life, no? Because we're all different.
Right.
Yeah, we're in a world of like, everyone's talking about diversity. So that's where we're, the world we live in. And in a world of too much diversity, you end up with conflict. Okay? So it so in this context, it's very important that everybody has that skill of
Right.
resolving this. Parang, we all have different perceptions. We witness, let's say, an event like Israel. Yeah, we
Right.
were
Right.
talking about it lang. And we have different perceptions about it. So it's up to us to say, are we going to use this as a platform for debate and ruin each other and demonize each other because, oh, you think, the conflict is like this. Or do we use it as an opportunity to learn from each other and understand why this person is saying that?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So any interesting anecdotes or cases you've handled where you helped resolve conflict? Let's say in the office or personal
Yeah.
lives that you can share with us.
In the office, marami, especially now, with return to work,
Yes.
we've noticed that there's so much. I mean, we're so busy now with workplace conflict in all kinds. I mean, like boss and subordinate, and then colleagues versus another colleague. But yun na nga, like recently, the last case I had was, they were close before pre-pandemic, and then first things were said during the pandemic, and
Co-workers or subordinate? Oh,
subordinates actually, ganon. So parang, and it's very common. And then things were said, and then medyo lumaki, 'di ba?
okay.
And then all of a sudden they're not talking anymore in the office, and then when there are meetings, ayan na, begin.
Passive aggressive.
Yeah,
Ganyan.
they'll start to
Okay.
demonize each
Oh my
other,
gosh.
contradict each other. So and then it affects the entire office. Like when they see those two people walking na ayan na,
Oh
parang
my gosh.
parang ayan, nagtitinginan na yung mga ganun. So
Okay.
it really affects the office. And yun, parang in that 1-2 hour session of mediation, parang just what this one other person just said, you know what, I lost a best friend. That's basically what
Oh,
this case,
okay.
this is what happened. And that word, parang, best friend, oh nga, no? And it kind of resonated with the
Wow.
other person. And yeah, and then after that, they became best friends again. So,
So, why did it take a professional mediator? They just couldn't have
oo.
said it to each other,
Yeah,
ganon.
oo, hindi
That
lang talaga, oo,
happens.
kasi siyempre you're 'di ba, you don't like the person, you're
Consumed with an
right, and so you're all like negativity and all, but then you needed somebody to just bring
right.
out the positive side naman.
Wow. Wow. Nadamay pa yung buong
Oo, and
office,
it
right?
yeah, it's really like that. I mean, the way we triangulate, it begins with like two people, and then the next day it's like 100 people versus the other
Oh
hundred
my
people.
gosh. Kampihan na.
Oo.
Right. What were some key factors in the resolution, or is it a case to
Mm.
case basis, or is there usually a pattern?
There's a pattern naman, but normally, okay, two basic hurdles, no, that we've seen in any conflict resolution is one is more of strategic. People don't know how kasi to talk to the other person, so you kind of have to teach them lang how to do it. The other one is deeper, yung cognitive.
Mhm.
So we're coaches, right? So
Right,
yung
right.
mga baggages that
Right, right.
help, 'di ba? That keep the person from moving forward. That's what you need. That's the more difficult part.
Right.
So that's when the coaching skills
Yeah.
are really helpful to make the person realize na, oh wait, I have all of these mga limiting beliefs,
Right, right.
right? And then I'm projecting it to the other person.
Ah.
Yung mga
Can you give an
ganyan.
example?
Oh, marami yan. Mga tipong little things in the office na parang, feeling mo, galing-galing mo, 'di ba?
Oh,
Yung mga
okay.
tipong ganyan. Or nagpapalakas ka kay boss, na ganyan, kasi you
Oh,
wanna get
okay.
promoted.
Right.
Those are common things. But then sometimes it's really just in your head.
Right.
Right? And then so you lead the people through a process of clarity. Na
Right.
what's more important ba in this particular situation? Ganun.
Right. 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 Okay. So first of all, to set things straight, how do we define conflict
Okay.
and conflict resolution?
Sige, I'll ask you the question. I'll throw back the question. Parang in the class, no? Sige.
Right,
What
right.
when I say the word conflict, what like
Right.
goes into your
Two
mind?
people who can't get
Yeah.
along.
Oo. Yeah. And it's common, like when I do this in class, what words come to mind when you say conflict? They say disagreements
Right, right.
and war and all that, and a lot of negative words, no? But then what we always say is conflict is not necessarily negative or bad,
Oh,
no?
okay.
There are other words that are like synonymous to conflict. There's growth, there's
Oh.
opportunity,
Oh.
there's, 'di ba? I mean, there's communication. So there's competition. Even, 'di
Okay.
ba? That's still,
Wow.
you can make it's a positive word also. So we try to define conflict as not just negative. So we kind of help with the mindset na negative ang conflict. So
Right.
it's also positive. Na conflict is really just a dynamics in the in the diverse world that we live in.
Right. And what about conflict resolution?
Yung conflict,
Kung hindi siya negative, bakit kailangan
hindi siya
i-resolve?
negative, hindi siya negative, hindi siya positive.
Okay.
It's just part of who we are.
Okay.
'Di ba? So
Right.
parang it's a little hurdle lang
Uh-uh.
in our daily lives that we need to deal with. It's like
Right.
tiny problems that we need to deal with. In conflict resolution naman, there are different layers, no? So merong conflict resolution na, sige, there's a problem, let's solve it, and then okay, when it's solved, let's walk away.
Okay.
But there's a deeper kind of conflict resolution where you have transformation, where you
Okay.
have personal change, where if let's say you and I have an argument, there's a realization na, oh, I did something wrong, I need to change. Right? And then on my end also, okay, I did something, and then I need to also change my behavior so that when we interact in the future, mas
Right.
aligned na tayo, diba? And I know what you don't like, and you don't know what I don't like.
Right.
Yeah. And we're able to deal with it better in the future.
Right. So you said conflict is really a part of life. So when
Yeah.
people say, sobrang okay kami ng, let's say, asawa ko, hindi kami nag-aaway. Is that good or bad?
Hindi ako maniniwala. Hindi ako maniniwala.
Or nagtitimpi lang yung isa?
Parang it's hard to keep it in kasi with anything that you bottle up, it'll come out. 'Di ba? Parang yan
So guaranteed, when two people are together, may away
Meron
yan.
at one point. I don't know. No, but have
Syempre
you
naman.
actually met somebody? No, kasi yung conflict doesn't have to be like rage. Everybody's
Right,
like, diba? But conflict is like you have a different perception and I have a different one. No, so what do we do with it?
Right.
Yeah.
And what about sa family members? Di ba sometimes, wag
yeah.
na lang, baka mag-away. So either
Yeah.
overlook the problem, sweep it under the
Kaya
rug.
marami tayong problema with families. Diba? We do get a lot of issues or cases with families. Oh,
Wow.
nako, family inheritance.
Oh my
Nako, that's a
goodness.
huge diba? But then again, it's all about what's important
Right.
Importante ba sa'yo yung properties? Or importante ba sa'yo yung relationship mo with
Right.
yung family member mo?
Right. How about culturally? Are there aspects of our culture, Filipino culture, that lend itself to like either avoidance of conflict? Don't rock the boat.
Oo,
or...
that's who we are.
Yeah,
That's who we are.
non-confrontational,
Oo,
diba?
that's who we are. But then yun na nga, sige, we try to avoid it. And then something happens again. Okay, let's try to avoid it. Mga mamaya, 'di ba, after like 2
Lumaki
weeks
na.
of avoiding it and letting it like go, ayan na, bigla na lang magwawala yung one person.
Or like sa workplace usually, pag may foreign
Mm.
uh may mga expat boss, and then they
Yeah.
find him or her too
Yeah.
direct,
Yeah.
and then
Oo.
nagkaka-conflict because we're just
Oo.
not used to direct.
Mas obvious in the workplace because there are telltale signs
Such
like
as
performance.
right.
Right? So 70%, there's study already, 70% of performance problems are due to conflict.
Okay.
So alam mo na yan, 'di ba? Even you don't like the person in front of you, 'di ba? Syempre parang instead of focusing on the work, you're
Right.
focused on something else na
Right.
tas i-observe mo na lang yung bawat galaw niya tapos kakwento mo na lang dun sa class. Di ba? Uy, alam mo yung ginawa
May
niya.
side group chat without the person.
And it really affects the performance, the morale of the company. I mean, if goals of the company and expenses of the company.
Right.
Maraming absences. Yeah,
Tama.
dahil may kaaway ka ganyan.
Right. So what can we do para harmonious lagi and things don't escalate to conflict? Or is there a difference between try to be harmonious so things don't escalate to conflict? Or is that just avoiding conflict?
No, well, it's good to kind of not escalate it. And one way of doing it is really talking.
Okay.
And that's what what we do talaga with the NGO is we really promote talking.
Okay. Wow. Talking effectively.
Yeah.
What are some of the common mistakes in resolving conflicts? Huwag na kayo mag-away. Bati-bati na kayo.
Gano'n actually yan. Oo, meron yan.
Mali po yan.
Yung mga, ano na lang, huwag ka nang magalit or huwag ka nang umiyak. Diba?
Okay.
Just forget about it.
Tama.
Yung mga ganyan, yung mga tinatabi mo na lang ganyan. So, don't do that. Or, common din to. Uy, alam mo, yung nag-away kayo sa office, ganito, this is what the other
sabi ni ganyan.
sabi ni ganito, this is what you should do. So you're actually educating, but in every conflict it's different. So the solution or the approach to the conflict could be different also. Ano pa ba? Maraming obstacles to to empathy really that we have.
Wow. And usually when that's the case, when you step in, what do you do?
That's when we parang coach then. We do a little bit of conflict coaching. That's why I took coaching aside from the mediation training. So a lot of times the first thing that a person really needs is clarity.
Right.
Ano ba talaga yung gusto ko out of this conflict? And maybe 90% of the time, people who come to us, especially workplace, they don't know what they want.
Oh, okay.
Parang, gusto lang nila.
Asar lang sila.
Gano'n. Parang, they don't know okay, so you want to, talk about it, you want this resolved, but what does resolution actually look like?
Right.
So they have no clarity of that. So you have to help them out. And then once they know na, okay, ito pala yung gusto ko, we're like back to where we were before, o gusto ko, we're gonna move forward with, better communication, or gusto ko mag-apologize lang siya sa akin, okay na ako.
Okay.
Ganon. Or gusto ko magbago siya. Yung ganon, ito yung makikitang behavior niya. So, you have to kind of outline those things. And once you have that clarity already, of course, two sides yon, di ba? The other person has to have the clarity, and then you bring them together.
Right. So as we mentioned, Pinoys have a non-confrontational nature, and they tend to be passive-aggressive. Like they'll make parinig, or ikukwento sa iba,
or they put it on social media with under somebody else's name, or
some people get kampihan na, di ba? Oh my God, what can you say about that?
Yun na nga, so it's not helpful kasi nga lalo na if it's in social media, you just post it because it's not even your name, right? So you're not being accountable to what you are saying. So that's one of the things that's important in conflict resolution is you have to speak for yourself. Hindi pwede kasi yung kapitbahay ko ganito. You have to be kasi parang you are actively part of the conflict resolution process. So you have to be accountable, you have to be responsible, and we encourage people to talk about themselves. This is what you felt, in that situation. Hindi yung what your neighbor felt. Kasi mas importante yung ano yung feeling mo eh.
Have you dealt with such a situation? Nag-social
Oh,
media tapos.
oo,
So what
marami diyan.
happened?
Actually, there was one, it wasn't me it wasn't me, but nakwento sa'kin, Facebook Live yung mediation session.
Oh my God! Okay,
Okey, oo.
parang
Pero
Camp David.
but okay naman, na-resolve naman yung case. But so, in situations like that, you really have to remind the parties what their responsibilities are. That's why in a mediation process, it's a process. May start, may finish. Meron kaming ground rules.
Wow. Ano yung ground rules?
First is of course, you speak for yourself. And then no, you take turns speaking. So when the other person speaking,
Okay.
you listen, and then no harsh words, yung mga ganon. And then confidentiality.
Mm.
It's a like a hallmark of what mediation process is. It's really confidential. So whatever we talk about, we keep it here. Kasi syempre, diba, if we don't have confidentiality, then it's very difficult for people to open up.
Unless naka-Facebook Live.
And hindi mo alam naka-Facebook Live ka.
Hindi na po siya confidential.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, what took you so long? I got lost. Huh? I got lost inside the mind of a genius. What? Can you imagine being at the center of 16 billion Da Vinci paintings through AI? It's like seeing what's inside Da Vinci's mind. The paintings are around you and above you and right through you. Oh, I can't explain it. The whole experience is trippy and wild and seriously amazing. You have to see it for yourself. Check out BGC Immersive Presents Wisdom of Da Vinci, a celebration of art, light, and technology. Get lost inside the mind of a genius. Use the code You Can Do This 150 to get a special discount when booking your tickets at bgcimmersive.com.
So what happens when we don't resolve conflicts and sweep it under the rug or do any of these passive aggressive means?
It will it will affect you as a person. Imagine naka-bottle up yan and then it will affect the way you behave, the way you interact with other people. Tapos syempre if it's office mate mo, yung kaaway mo, right? So there are places that you will not go or
Right.
things that you will avoid doing and that will affect your life. So ikaw yung nahihirapan actually if you try to avoid dealing with the conflict.
Right. And on a bigger scale for your job, it means what? Like national unrest or what?
Oh, mas maraming trabaho for me. But pag ganon, it's really more time lang to kind of bring out or open the person.
Right.
Yeah.
And what happens when we adopt a mindset of being able to resolve conflict? What changes in our lives?
Oh, you become more compassionate.
Okay.
Oo, and you're, I mean, overall, a happier, more
Right.
colorful person. Kasi parang, the thing about the work that we do, it's really transformational conflict resolution. So we really aim for behavioral change and mindset change, 'di ba? So parang imagine yourself, 'di ba, coloring.
Okay.
And then you're coloring outside of the lines.
Okay.
So there's nobody telling you, oh, you shouldn't do that. And 'di ba, that's
okay.
wrong.
Right,
'Di
right,
ba?
right.
So parang if you are in an environment that accepts, different way of doing things, na okay, the color outside of the line, make it like, make the trees blue instead of green. And parang 'di ba, it builds you as a person. Yung growth mo is you have more opportunity for growth.
Right.
Yeah.
And you'll be healthier.
You'll
I
be healthier.
guess.
Oh my gosh, that's stress.
Yeah.
The stress that people experience when they are in conflict.
Right.
It's not it's gonna put you to the hospital.
Right. And on a bigger scale, perhaps the world can be a better place. Wars can be prevented. What is your wish? in
That's my
this
wish. It's
regard?
just we're more compassionate. Na okay, when we see people doing things are different
Right.
from what we are doing, then don't make it a source of of conflict, but try to understand muna.
Right.
When you see person doing something different, try to understand where this person is coming from, and that's where we try to build a compassionate world.
Or looking different. So the
Yeah,
Gen Zs are champions
right.
of
Yeah,
diversity,
yeah.
right? But
Oo.
are they
Oo.
necessarily better communicators and able to avoid conflict? Or
Hindi rin
rin?
eh. Hindi rin eh. That doesn't really say
Kahit
na.
woke sila.
Oo, hindi rin eh. Kasi sometimes you may be woke, but you're still
Posting.
there's still oo, and there's still a wall between
Okay.
you and other people. And what's that
Right.
wall? The
Right.
goal is to remove that wall so that we have yung relationship natin is free flowing without any judgments.
Right.
Diba?
Right. So, you have for us 5 steps to resolving conflict that we can apply in our daily lives.
Okay,
Do
sige.
share.
All right. I wrote it down in
Okay.
case I forgot. First one is don't run away.
Okay.
Don't run away from
Importante
conflict.
yun.
Diba? It's who we are. Eh. We're like avoiders. There's actually a tool, a test where that you can take. It's online. It's called Thomas Kilmann Conflict Management Style. Thomas Kilmann.
Conflict
Thomas
management
Kilmann
style.
Conflict Management Style. So, kind of tells you ano yung automatic response mo in a conflict or sa stressful situation.
Right.
So, don't be what we call turtle. A turtle kasi 'di ba pag may stressful magtatago siya.
Okay.
So, don't run away.
Don't be a turtle.
If there's a opportunity or there's a, let's say somebody goes to you and says something mean to you, 'di ba? So, of course you'll get hurt, right? And chances are you'll run away, but try to look at it in a different way, na in a more curious way. So why is this person telling me this?
Right.
Okay, where is it coming from? Okay, kasi behind every behavior or everything people say or emotions, let's say somebody becomes emotional, there's always a need behind it.
Right.
So ano yung need behind nung sinasabi ng tao? Why did this person say, he doesn't like you? Yeah. So there's something there that isn't being met, right? So don't run away. Look at it in a curious way. So that's the first. The second one is there will always be tools out there to resolve the problem.
Okay. Good to know.
So whatever issue that is, I mean, meron siyang solution. We've been doing this for 20 years. We've seen all kinds of conflicts already. Small, big, really big, and there's you always find the solution.
So wala pa kayong hindi nasosolve?
Wala pa. Kasi nga, conflict resolution is a process.
Right.
Okay? Medyo hindi pa nasusolve now, maybe.
Okay.
But there will be an opportunity. Depende kasi yan sa readiness of the parties. So, meron pang hindi pa na ready, mag-open up na party. Kaya hindi pa na-resolve. Yeah.
Speaking of looking at where the other person is coming from, totoo ba na behind anger is usually fear?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And number one din yan, fear. That's why naman we try to, if there's a conflict situation, we kind of be a turtle. And it's part of it is really just the fear.
Right.
Yeah.
So instead of a turtle, be a
there's
lion.
a lion actually, and there's another one, elephant. An
wow.
elephant is a high relationship and high task-oriented or results-oriented person.
Okay.
So parang you're there, yan. So you're both a collaborator.
Okay.
So you try to get the inputs of everybody, you listen, and then you go through a process of like deciding, okay, this is how we move forward after listening to everybody and getting everybody's opinion on how we can resolve the issue.
Ganun pala yung elephant.
Oo.
Okay.
Kasi may study rin. Kasi ang elephant, they are able to work parang instinctively with another elephant in resolving a problem.
Oh.
They did studies.
Wow.
May oras ba tayo kwento?
Meron naman.
Okay. Kasi the rationale there is that there is this scientist, they put food, no, and then behind is food like at the end, no, but then between the animals and the food meron log, okay, that keeps them from getting the food. So syempre parang in order for you to get the food, kailangan yung log tataas.
Okay.
Parang mawawala, parang ganon. Tataas yung log. And parang it's only the elephant and a couple of other animals who realize na kailangan sabay mong itataas yung log para you can go through, and then get the, So parang they tested several animals.
Cooperation.
So very collaborative.
Galing.
They were the ones who really figure it out that you have to work together. So ganun, that's basically the spirit of conflict resolution. You have to
Be an
work
elephant.
together. Yeah.
Okay, what else?
What else? Ano pa ba? Okay. The third step is find your shared humanity.
Okay.
We found that kasi nga a lot of us are operating on beliefs, diba? Belief systems and all that. But behind that belief system is who we are as human beings, and yung shared humanity natin is found in values. Okay, so we actually have a process or a tool called the values-based approach. No, so we use that. We make people understand na, importante sa atin lahat respeto, importante sa atin lahat acknowledgement, love or purpose. Yan, in different in different maybe degrees, no. But these are all something shared. So if you bring people to that level of conversation, lumalabas yung humanity, lumalabas yung compassion. Yun. So,
Remind
shared,
everyone what they're here for.
Kasi parang if you're mad at somebody, you don't see the value.
Yeah.
You see what's the other side is. So you flip the conversation into, what values do you think the other person has that you also have?
Right.
Yan. Okay, so that's the third. And then the fourth one is, ano pa ba? Okay, so think outside of the box. So when you're trying to solve problems, hindi ngayon parang, kasi nga, ito yung nangyari dun sa kapitbahay mo, so ganito rin yung solusyon para sa'yo, di ba? But hindi different context. Every conflict situation will have a different context. Thus, a different, way of, a different parang formula also. So ganun. So just really think outside of the box. We've had really creative ways of such as there's this one we were talking about boundary dispute. So it's a community boundary dispute. Kasi nga they're saying, kasi nag-soil erosion na, so nag-move na yung boundary, ganyan. So all of us parang sige, we rowed the boat. Tapos okay, tingnan natin. So we really went on an excursion to really find out ano na itsura ng boundary. So that's just one of those created. Tapos, so yung excursion na yon, no, became a bonding moment na rin for the party. So parang
quarreling party.
diba? So parang we were all on the boat. Actually there were like several tiny bangka. So, ayan, parang, picture na sila, and gano'n, tapos mamaya nag-swimming na sila together. So, biglang at the end.
Excursion lang pala.
I know.
Wait, did you plan that?
No.
It's a good after
because they suggested it so they recommended it. So kami, sige, go. This is something that you feel strongly about. And it turned out to be a really good bonding moment. And
so they found their shared values and
parang,
common goals.
and they knew each other na. Parang, ito pala to.
So in the end, anong nangyari?
Sila na mismo, nag-solve ng problem. Okay, ito pala. Sige, let's try to work out the formula na for the boundary. Kasi they saw the actual situation na. They saw the reality. Kasi if we were just like in the boardroom and talking, diba? Parang maps lang Hindi mo makikita sa mapa. And yun, no opportunity for them to really interact.
I love that example. Akala ko when you said boundary, setting boundaries. Yung pala totoong boundary. Okay. What else?
Yun. So, the last one is just ask for help.
Okay.
If yung communication mo with the other parties, may stalemate na kayo, then don't forget to or don't hesitate to ask for help, because there are third parties out there,
such as you guys.
Yes,
Or can you get a third party like from your circles, like a friend or
basta lang knowledgeable yung friend mo in the process of conflict resolution. Kasi nga conflict resolution isn't about the third party telling you, you do this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yun yung difference eh. So make sure that the third party doesn't do that.
Okay.
Ito, alam ko na yung solution sa problema nyo, ganito. But more of the person who will really facilitate the communication between the two parties. Na, okay, so this is how this experience made you feel, no? And then during that time, ito pala yung pangangailangan mo, the needs and the interests, no? And then in order to move forward, this is, what's important to you. These are your non-negotiables. Yung ganun. So a facilitator.
What does it take to be a good mediator? Meron ba yung parang traits? Like
Listening
skills.
Listening skills lang siya talaga. And a person who is, I guess, confident enough to say na hindi ako yung magsosolve ng problema. Kasi
okay.
it has to be the parties themselves who will solve the problem.
Right.
So may humility ng konti.
And who should not be a mediator?
Yun na nga, yung tipong feeling niya siya lang yung tama.
Okay.
Yun.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I love it. May toolkits na. Meron bang mga
Do's and don'ts.
Do's and don'ts, strategies. So if there's only one takeaway, like a mantra or a mindset that listeners can take away with them from our chat today, what would it be?
It's have the courage to engage. It's a hashtag that we also parang part of our advocacy, courage to engage.
Courage to engage.
Yeah, because sometimes that's where we are. Yung fear nga eh. I'm not gonna talk to you because I'm afraid, diba? Kasi baka magalit ka sa akin, right? And there's like many other fears. So it really needs courage from both sides to just begin engaging in a collaborative, compassionate way.
Let's all be courageous elephants who collaborate for a common goal. Thank you so much, Mia.
Thank you.
Learned so much, and I shall apply these things when I get home immediately.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. Where can people reach you or learn more about your work and the core group?
All right, thanks. So, we're on Facebook, the Core Group Foundation. So, and you can just message us there.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to You Can Do This. If you want to know more about me, visit Mirza.com. That's MYRZA.com. And follow me at Mirza Season on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If you like this episode, please don't forget to rate it 5 stars. Hit the follow button on your podcast streaming platforms and hit the notification bell to get alerted every time we release a new episode. Catch you at our next convo, and always remember, you can do this.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.